Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome to weekend 2 of the Modern Warfare 2 beta. A number of things have been added to the game, a number of things have been changed as well, and the question on everybody's mind is the game good? Is it better now? Well, that's going to be a focus of the video here today. First things first, Ground War is now here. We have the game mode Invasion. It's a weird game mode actually. It's 20v20, but with 20 bots on top of that. So basically it's 40v40, but each team is consisting of half players and half AI bots, and it's actually pretty fun. If you're looking for a place to go to maybe do challenges and things like that, maybe just turn off your brain and run around and just do whatever, it's not all that bad. I only played a couple of matches of it here so far, but it does feel pretty good. The maps that they've given us so far for this game mode are very interesting, and sometimes it's kind of a bit Warzone-y, I suppose. People just sitting on top of rooftops and things like that, but then again, you can sneak up on them and do this, which is always hilarious. The vehicles are interesting. Vehicles in COD are always like really weird to me sometimes. Like, if you actually take the time to blow them up, they're not that big of a deal, but if they go unchecked, they can be kind of ridiculous. As you guys can see, I'm just sitting here in the gunner seat mowing down people that happen to come into this alley right here. And what's interesting about the bots as well is they get stronger throughout the match, which they're not all that good. They really toted like how good the AI was supposed to be with their bots, because bots are apparently going to be a big part of Warzone 2 as well as different game modes within the Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer, and the bots are pretty stupid. I don't think I've died to one yet, and I killed them pretty easily. Partway through the match, they get body armor. Okay, that's whatever. And yeah, it's so far it's fun. Like, I do enjoy Ground War. I'd say it's a good addition to the game, and I'm interested to see how that's gonna, affect the game long term. One of my biggest problems with some of the older CODs was when they had things like, multiplayer 6v6, then they had 2v2, and then they had Ground War on top of that. Like, having that variety as a player is awesome. But what's bad about that is you worry about how the developmental process is affected by having to cater to so many different game modes. You have these people dedicated to making maps and stuff like that for 2v2, and then you have people making 6v6 maps, and you have people making Ground War maps, and people focusing on Warzone 2. Like, are they stretching everybody too thin? It's hard to say. We do have so many devs working on this game. Basically every Activision studio is working on Modern Warfare 2, and it will be a 2-year game, so having that variety there is good. I don't think they've mentioned the gunfight or 2v2 or anything like that so far, but I would not be surprised whatsoever if that comes during a season, during the full launch of Modern Warfare 2. But so far, in my honest opinion, thumbs up. Ground War is actually pretty fun. I'm enjoying it, and as somebody who loves to complete challenges and things like that, I think it could be a great place to go ahead and do that. We'll have to see once challenges are actually unlocked, however, if the progress you make against bots actually count. If you guys notice, when I'm killing a bot, it doesn't actually like increase my kill streak or anything like that. It gives you a small amount of points towards, winning the game. But obviously players are worth 5 times the amount of points. So we'll have to wait and see how the balancing, how challenges and things like that are going to work. But so far, Ground War, not too shabby. Next up here, we have Footsteps. That's a big one, right? They are really doubling down on the idea that Dead Silence needs to be a field upgrade. We're not changing the minimap, and Footsteps are going to be quieter, but they're still going to be loud. And I honestly don't know if they made a change at all. And that's not me just trying to be like a dick or be cynical or whatever. I honestly don't know if they changed Footsteps at all, because they are so loud. If you guys are wondering how loud, listen to this clip right here. You don't need to have earbuds. You don't need to have headphones. If you're just watching this on your phone on the toilet, you'll still be able to tell exactly where this guy is coming from. So take a listen.
Got you covered. 10 seconds out. Throwing up.
Hostile cruise missile incoming.
So yeah, not really a massive fan of that, I suppose. I mean, if they're going to be like really doubling down on Dead Silence only being a field upgrade, Footsteps have to be quieter, man. They just have to. Otherwise, you find yourself in a really slow-paced environment, and I do feel as though that's kind of what we have here with Modern Warfare 2, and I apologize for all the voice cracks today. My voice is just... it gets shot. I don't know. My voice has just been really weird lately. But going back to it, if you think back to the glory days of COD, which not to be too nostalgic here, but it wasn't too uncommon to see somebody, bust out 30 kills in a TDM or 40 kills in a TDM if they're really popping off. I'm not even joking. I feel like every game of Team Deathmatch, most people average like 10 to 15 kills. and that's it. And if you see somebody with like 25 kills in a game of team deathmatch, it's like, whoa, that dude did a thing. You know, you go play a game of domination, and maybe some of the pub stomper YouTubers are having better luck than I, but I'm just judging from my own personal perspective as well as the perspective of the other people in my lobby. We'll have a full-fledged game of domination. Everyone's sweating their asses off, and I'm like literally sitting here like heart rate up at 130, trying my damnedest to hold on to B, and come the end of the game, I've got 20 kills. I'm like, what? It's been a 10-minute match and I have 20 kills? And everyone else in the lobby is somewhere close to that, maybe a little bit higher, maybe a little bit lower. I don't know. It doesn't seem like, you know, really high kill counts or anything like that are happening so far in Modern Warfare 2. And it is a beta, so people's stats don't even count or anything like that. So people are just more likely to actually rush around and not camp as much. So we'll have to see how the pacing of the game is going forward. But yeah, a big part of speeding up the game a little bit would be making it so you can move around without everybody always hearing you. Now, one of the things I think is actually a really good change to the game, they talked about this during the Infinity Ward blog post where they talked about how things were going to change going from weekend 1 into weekend 2. Visibility is freaking great. Thank you, Infinity Ward. Like, honest to goodness, like, it's really good. Whether I'm using the MP5 or the M16 or if I'm using the M4, whatever, visibility and the ability to track your targets downrange is actually so much better now. There's not as much visual noise happening. There's not as much smoke and gas, and it's a lot easier to win a gunfight downrange and take on targets downrange. When people are shooting at you, it's not as blurry. It feels really good. And another great addition is they removed that stupid zoom in spawn camera in Team Deathmatch. I believe it's still there in Domination. I know for a fact it's there in Ground War. But when you're playing like normal, 6v6 Team Deathmatch, every time you die, you don't have that stupid spawn in camera anymore, which I think is actually pretty good news. Reload canceling, however, is still gone. I had this idea that they somehow brought reload canceling back for weekend 2, because you guys see this clip right here. I go to kill the guy and then I reload. I'm like, oh wait, I double tap Y real quick and I get my gun back in a ready position and I can fire again. But that's only because my magazine didn't actually leave my gun. It just started the animation. So for certain weapons, you can kind of reload cancel if you're really quick about it, but most weapons you just can't do it, and that's really frustrating. So that's another thing they got rid of, and it's like, why? Reload canceling is part of a fast-paced COD experience, in my opinion, and Infinity Ward apparently does not want us to have that. But what they do want us to have is a good, clean game, man. I told you guys about this, how for some reason they were going to be requiring our phone numbers to play the game on PC, which I thought was like, why? And people were saying, well, it's probably for security reasons. Well, it actually says right there, they want your phone number to keep you accountable. You're no longer just random dude playing the game. You're now random dude with a phone number that can be tracked, and they can figure out who you are if you're being an asshole online, which is still really creepy. In some ways, it's kind of like holding people accountable. In other ways, it's like, why does Bobby Kotick need to have all our phone numbers? It's really weird, man, especially with Call of Duty account security. But speaking of that, we have a new code of conduct. I told you guys about this as well. Well, it appeared here in weekend 2 of the beta. Treat everyone with respect. We do not tolerate bullying or harassment, including derogatory comments based on race, gender identity or expression, sexual orientation, age, culture, faith, mental or physical abilities, or country of origin. That's actually kind of tricky, man. I don't think they're going to enforce this at all. This is literally just a way for them to kind of like say they're trying to clean up their game, clean up the studio, clean up Activision as a whole, because we know that Microsoft is trying to acquire Activision, and Activision is trying to say, we're not the same studio we used to be. We really care about inclusivity and all that stuff, right? But I mean, look at this, man. If they say we can't make fun of people for mental or physical abilities by this code of conduct, you're playing Search and Destroy, somebody doesn't hear someone sneak up on them, you can't just say there in game chat, dude, are you deaf? You can't say that. It's against the rules now. By physical abilities, can you even say somebody sucks anymore? Because, like, oh, well, maybe I'm just not as good as you. You're harassing me. And it's like, oh, man, I don't think they're going to enforce any of this, honestly. Compete with integrity. Oh, yeah, competitive integrity is core to the Call of Duty experience. Yeah, you and your skill-based matchmaking are real integral. Progression is earned through good, clean gameplay. Cheating or griefing or other threats to fair play will not be tolerated. So, did I just get myself banned for teabagging that guy on the water tower? Is that against the rules? Do I have to make a new account, Activision? Don't ban me. Come on, the game's not even out yet. And then we have Stay Vigilant. Working together, we can keep the game fair and fun for all to promote an enjoyable gameplay experience. You guys want to talk about an enjoyable gameplay experience, removing reload canceling, removing the mini-map, removing dead silence, adding more skill-based matchmaking. Tell me all about how you want to make the game fair and fun for all. To promote an enjoyable gameplay experience, utilize in-game tools to report any incidents or inappropriate behaviors you encounter. Please don't ban me for teabagging. I didn't mean to. It was a reflex. He was playing real tactical on top of that water tower. He had every right to be up there. This shit is so stupid, man. But again, this is just a bunch of lip service. This is Activision trying to say they're cleaning up their games, they're cleaning up their community, they're cleaning up themselves so that Microsoft will acquire them and give them all the monies. But yeah, weekend 2 so far, some changes have been good. Like I said, the visibility is a lot better. The removal of the zoom in spawn camera is very nice. They say footsteps are quieter. I personally can't tell really whatsoever. Maybe if I were to play some search or something like that, or maybe prison rescue. I'm not even sure if search and destroy is in this part of the beta right now, but I think I can go through and I maybe get a better feel for the footsteps. So far they're pretty damn loud. And ground war, thumbs up. I'm actually a big fan of it. It's pretty damn fun. It's not, it's fast paced and crazy and intense as like 6v6 or anything like that. You can go in there, just bullshit with your buddies, or turn on a podcast, turn on some music, watch a little Netflix on the other monitor there while you're trying to level up your guns and do things like that. And of course, it's a beta, so everything we do right here is pretty much irrelevant aside from the rewards that we get. But I'm talking about the full launch of the game. Like, I can see myself playing a good amount of ground war if I just want to chill out from the skill-based matchmaking sweat fest that is the traditional 6v6 experience. But guys, that's it for this update video here today. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave your thoughts and feedback down there in the comments. Let me know what you guys think of weekend 2 so far. If you play on PC or you play on Xbox and you pre-ordered, you have access to the game right now. And on Saturday, September 24th, it's going to become an open beta for PlayStation, Xbox, PC, pre-order, no pre-order. Everybody can play it. So that's when the real feedback's going to be coming in. And I'm interested to see how Infinity Ward is going to handle everything. But guys, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for listening. Be sure to subscribe if you're new around here, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.